Hey guys, this is Doran, CEO of Culture Matters and KnowledgeSeekerRevolution.com. Today I want to talk about mentorship. What does that really mean? Abraham Lincoln, we all know him, Gettysburg Address, and he never gave up. He said, "I learn something from everyone I meet. Usually it's what not to do." So today we're going to talk about mentorship. Why do you need a mentor? What does that mean? And how can you actually implement it? Meaning, what are the different forms of mentorship and how can you do it today for free or invest in someone to mentor you? So, mentorship, why do we need it? Isaac Newton said, "Standing on the shoulders of giants, we can see farther." Now, what does that mean? It's not just a cheesy quote. Literally, if Isaac Newton took 60 years to learn all the things he did and all those profound thoughts that just came out of his mind and for whatever happened, and he wrote it down in a book, and we took 6 hours to read the book, isn't that more efficient than having to live the 60 years that he had to live, the genius that he had that we might not have, and invest in that experience that he has, draw from it, and put it into our possible future? Well, yeah, and that's a form of mentorship. So the why is, the more that we learn, the less that we have to experience negatively, and we can experience more positively. So the why, because it works. Leonardo da Vinci is known for saying, "Good artists copy, great artists steal." Right now I'm stealing. I've read books, I've drawn from those experiences, I've introspected on them in my own life, and now I'm investing that into my future and yours right now. So I'm stealing. And the guy before me stole, and the guy before him stole. And that's the beauty of evolution. That's the beauty of humanity. Really, is there any other organism on the planet that can read a book and then future pace and create all these new realities? No. Humans are the only organism on the planet that have been proven to be able to tell the future, to be able to read something or talk to someone or not even experience something and be able to plan a potential future. Now, whatever reason we're able to do that, that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Today, I'm here to talk about mentorship and how it can affect you. So what can you do? One, we covered, we can read books. Now, experience is the best teacher. It just may usually be the most expensive. So what's another way that we can do it? Well, local networking groups. Chamber of Commerce, Rotary Club, Toastmasters, places where people are going to hang out that may have the same ambitions as you, but maybe they're older, wiser, and been through more things. So think about the places, people that you want to be, hang out, so you can hang with them and become them sooner than they became them, if that makes sense. A little confusing. Fuck you too, okay? Sorry. So let's just end that and we'll go to the third one. Third, coach. We can hire a coach. What does that mean? That is someone that can ask us powerful questions, listen to understand, not to reply, not to tell us what to do, but help us find our answer with it. Help us figure out what the solution is before we have to make a mistake and learn the hard way. Because at the end of the day, if we're not investing in someone to help us figure it out, aren't we really speculating that we're not going to make a mistake? And really, isn't that a lot more expensive? How can we read when we have a busy life? Well, that's a great point. We're all either working, eating, networking, doing things. We got wives and girlfriends and friends, and we want to have a social life. How can we do it? Well, this is the question I was asked a couple years ago, and it's very simple. "Jay, why don't you read?" "Well, I don't have enough time." "Well, do you have a car?" "Yeah." "And even if I didn't, do you commute?" "Yeah, I commute." "Would you say your commute takes at least 15 minutes? "Well, yeah, it's more like an hour, but 15, okay." "Well, isn't that 30 a day?" "Yeah, and 5 days a week, that's about 2.5 hours. "Okay, it's 2.5 hours, so, I could listen to audiobooks." "Yeah." A state of California proved that listening to audiobooks 1 hour a day is equivalent after 1 year as a semester in college. 1 hour of listening to audiobooks. I mean, think about it. They say up to the age of 18, we're told no 100,000 times, and that apparently affects our self-esteem, our limiting beliefs, and the future that we create for ourselves. So if we listen to an hour a day of audiobooks, couldn't that be the most positive thing in our life? I can only speak from personal experience. 3.5 years ago, I started listening to audiobooks every single time I drove or walked down the street or worked out in the gym. And something like 2.5 hours a day has led me to where I am today. 1,000 of books and lots of inspiration, but lots of application that I personally been able to put into my life that's made my life, I would say, arguably better. So, Audible is an app that we can use to leverage our time. We're busy lives. We can either listen to music or listen to books or split up the time and do both. The choice is yours because now you know. So what can we take away from today? Why do we want to learn? Well, the more we learn, the more we earn. Like Isaac Newton, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Alexander the Great, they all had the same thing in common. They all mentored or mentored with each other. What can we do? Networking groups. Anybody we meet, just listen and learn and introspect and see what they did right or they did wrong. Books, $20, $10, $30, $100, whatever the cost is, that's someone's entire life experience written down as a how-to guide of what not to do and what worked. And how can we implement it? Audible, it's an app. There's plenty of them out there. There are even book reviews that take a book and make it like an hour long. And in your commute, we can listen an hour a day. I'll leave you with this. The average CEO listens to 50 books a year, 50 to 60. And the average person listens to less or reads less than one book per year. Now, Barnes & Noble's in business because the average person buys 17. So the hope is there. We all want to learn and grow. We may just be using the wrong approach because if we buy a hard copy book in the 21st century, we got kids, we have 2 jobs, we're sleeping, we're going to school. It seems like there's never time to sit down and read. And then when we do read, we get 5 pages done. So we say, what's the point? Well, audiolibrary.com. Listen to books. Because the average CEO that listens or reads 60 books a year makes 318 times more money than the average person. So the question is, if you want to live a life that others don't, how can we do what they won't? This is Jay Doran with Culture Matters and KnowledgeSeekerRevolution.com. I hope today helps you. The more you learn, the more you earn, and read some good books. Thanks, guys.